Hey guys, welcome to my conversation with your Alabama 7A 132-pound state champion from Enterprise, Grier Hunt. Grier, first, how does that sound to say state champion, Grier Hunt?
It feels so good. I've been working hard for it, so it feels good to finally be able to hear it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and especially after last year, coming up just short, finishing second. I think you lost to Ty Sisson. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So, coming up just short last year, and then this year, one of the things that was pretty cool to see happen for you guys was not only did you win, but your training partner and teammate won, and you guys are the first ever for Enterprise.
Yes, sir. Me and Cameron Stifler both did it.
So, how did that feel? Like both of you winning the state title? Were you watching? I know you're right after him. So, were you watching it, or were you focused on your stuff?
So I was kind of just getting ready for my match, and then the first period I definitely watched the whole thing, and then the second and the third period I was kind of just focusing in for my match. And then when he won, I couldn't help but like clap and cheer and get ready. So
Very cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so we're going to talk about your run to a title, but let's go off the mat first. All
okay,
right.
yes,
So,
sir.
so let's go. Are you a cat person, a dog person, or something else?
I'm definitely a dog person. I have four little dogs. One of them is my favorite. Her name's Molly. She sleeps with me every night. My favorite.
Very cool. What kind of dog?
She's a Frenchie.
A Frenchie. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Cake or pie?
I'm gonna go cake. I'm not a
You're,
big pie person.
okay. Big chocolate cake. What kind of cake?
Yeah, my mom makes this chocolate cake. It's a Hershey cake. It's like chocolate, and then the frosting is like layered, and the frosting in between is like a vanilla frosting with little Hershey pieces in it. It's perfect.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good. If you were watching your weight, you probably weren't eating a lot of that during the season.
No, no, I think during Christmas she made it, and I definitely snuck a bite or two, but that was all I could do.
What was the thing if you were I'm sure you were watching your weight, maybe you weren't cutting a lot, I don't know, but, if you were watching your weight, was there a food that you missed a lot?
Not necessarily a food, but probably just an ice cold Coke. I I
Oh,
I would love that, or powdered donuts. Those are my weak spot.
okay, I got you. I remember those things, and I remember those times when I was watching my weight back in the day, and I was thinking to myself, "Man, I would just so missed for periods of time certain foods or drinks." Ice cold Coke is right up there at the top of the list.
Yes, sir.
All right. So because we like to talk about food because we're wrestlers, let's go with sushi. Yes or no?
Yes, I love sushi.
Okay. Any particular kind?
Uh, Not really. I like most sushis.
Okay. All right. Let's go with pineapple on pizza. Is that a thing?
No, that is not allowed. Not allowed.
All right. Are you a plain cheese person or are you like what do you like on the pizza?
I like plain cheese, pepperoni. I like pretty much every pizza, but I don't like pineapple on my pizza or like most veggies on my pizza. I'll do the
Mm,
green olive or the green onions though.
okay. All right. I got you. So we're going to a Mexican restaurant. Are we getting guac, salsa, queso, or all three?
All three, of course.
All three, of
All three.
course. Okay. All right. Do you listen to music when you warm up?
I do. I listen to a lot of like rap and hip hop music when I warm up.
Rap and hip hop music. So what do you remember specifically what you were listening to before the state finals?
Oh man. Not exactly, but I kind of just have a playlist and the title name is Champs, so it always gets me ready.
Okay.
Uh
So is it to hype you up or to kind of calm you down?
to be honest, a little bit of both. It's kind of a noise cancellation, cuts out the crowd, and then it keeps me still warm and hyped up. So I it kind of is just pre-match ritual by now.
Okay. All right. Beyonce, yay or nay?
Yes.
Have
Beyonce
you
is
heard
pretty good.
Beyonce's country song?
No, no, no.
Okay, she's done a country song, so you have to check that out. Um,
Definitely will have to.
yeah, definitely. All right, so I think it's brand new, so I don't know that a whole lot of people have heard it. All right, so roller coaster, yay or nay?
Yay. We just got done with Universal actually. I love roller coasters.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So what about at the beach? You know, they have that slingshot. Would you do that?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Of
I would
course,
have
of
to.
course. Okay. All right. What about if I gave you a chance to go to space, would you go to space?
Yeah, I'd do it.
You do it?
And like I feel like the reason I do it is just so I can like say I've done it, not because I want to, but there's a select few people who've done it, so I might as well.
Okay. I got you. If there's anywhere in the world you could visit, where would you go?
Mm, probably Hawaii again. I liked Hawaii so much. Probably my
Okay.
favorite place.
Do you like the water? You like surfing? You like any of that?
I like the water. I've skimboarded a couple times. I've never surfed really, but I like the beach. I like the hot sun. It's nice.
So are you more of a hot person than a cold person? Do you prefer hot
Yeah,
weather rather than cold weather?
yeah. I'd way rather be in the warm weather than have to bundle up in the cold.
All right. Okay. So what is there a talent that you have off the mat that very few people know about?
Uh, I'm pretty good at most sports. I feel like was not well here at the gym. I'm probably the best pickleball player. They're gonna say that it's not, but I probably am. I know it's a weird sport, but pickleball's my thing.
You know what? You're not the first person to tell me that. You're not the first wrestler in these interviews that have told me that. What is it about pickleball?
I don't know. It's fun, something to do. It keeps you active, uh, and it's not too hard to learn at all. And it's just something you can get together and get away from wrestling for a little bit.
Very cool. All right. Who would say that they were the best, or would they all say that each of them are the best?
Probably everybody would say that they're the best.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's go on the mat and let's go back in time and back to when you started wrestling. How old were you when you started, or what grade were you in? And what was that experience like? Who got you into it? That sort of thing.
Okay, so I got moved to Alabama my sixth grade year. I've always been a baseball kid. Nobody in my family has ever wrestled. I had no clue what it was, nothing like that. And then when we got here to Fort Rucker, uh, baseball wasn't in season, so my mom was trying to find something to do to keep me active. And we had drove past Assassin's Wrestling, and she was like, "Why not?" So we came to try it out, and I started liking it more and more. I kept coming back every day. It was a great workout. I got in a really good shape compared to baseball. And then what happened was about my first season was in sixth grade summer. Me and Cameron were drilling, and I tore my ACL during a spin drill. So
Oh,
I was out for the whole year, and then I was kind of iffy about coming back. But the thing that kept me is that I didn't make the high school team, the high school baseball team. So I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm out of sports. And then my mom was like, just go back to wrestling. And I'm so thankful that I didn't make the team, because if not, I probably wouldn't wrestle or made it this far at all.
so what?
So that's what got me into that.
Yeah. So what do you remember back to your first practice at Assassins or anything?
Yeah, I remember getting in the room. I walked the lobby area was pretty normal temp, and then I stepped into the room. I was like, oh man, it's hot in here. And then all I heard was my coach Kyle just yelling, "Get to running" or something like that. And then I just remember every practice kind of being like a grind, but but you felt so good after the practice. You felt like accomplished stuff like that.
That's cool. That's cool. It's unfortunate that you tore your ACL
Yeah,
and you didn't make the baseball team, but you know, in the long run, things happen for a reason. And
it played out.
yeah, no doubt. All right. So I want you to take me back to because you're a junior, right? You're a junior this year.
Yes, sir.
I want you to
Yes,
take
sir.
me to your sophomore year. You make a run, get all the way to the finals, and take the loss.
Yes,
You
sir.
walk out of the Von Braun Center, and how did you feel?
Oh man, I didn't even know how to feel, because I was up by six, and then he threw me to my back with a minute left, and it was just like it was right in my hands, the state title, and it just was such a bummer. But then I think I took a couple weeks off, just thought about it, just stuck with me every night. And then I got back to practice, and me and Cameron kind of just pushed each other harder and harder to. We just kept looking at the goal for next year, and that's what definitely set us apart from other kids this year.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I look at your season. I've always following it all along, and you had a great season. You beat a lot of really good guys and everything else, and you're making a run, and you look like the man. And then there's a hiccup in the section finals. Like, what happened?
Yeah, so it was the semifinals of sectionals,
Oh,
and
this.
they had put Latrell in a weird spot. Me and him should have wrestled in the finals, but the way it got it seated, I wrestled him in the semis.
Okay.
And I remember going into that match kind of a little too overconfident because I beat him one time before at state duels, 4-1, and it was kind of just not a glide through match, but kind of just I got all my takedowns, stuff like that. And then I kind of went into that match too confident, and I was up by one. I already had the stalling call, but I was on bottom, and he he was holding me down. He's a really good on top. He was holding me down, and I was like, oh, 15 seconds left. I can kind of just slow down. And so I went to slow down, and the ref hit me again, stalling. And I was like, we're tied up. I just got to go in overtime. We go to overtime. My nose is bleeding like crazy. So I kept getting these little breaks, and I'm just trying to keep pushing the pace. And then I think there's like 10 seconds left in overtime. I shoot a double. And instead of just stopping and like cracking it back down, I kept running through it. And as I was running, he got one underhook and threw me in my back. And oh man, that was a pain in the butt.
So walking into Huntsville this year after taking that loss in the semis, you're the 3 seed, I think.
Yes, sir.
Um, but you had to feel pretty confident. Were you confident? Were you yeah, what was kind of your feeling walking in for that state tournament?
I was super confident. My coaches put a lot of belief into me, and like my training and stuff like that. So I was definitely really confident going into it. I was going to be the number one coming out of there, and we kind of looked over the match, saw where my hiccups were, and then we worked them at practice, and I felt amazing.
And you wrestled really, really well. Like you
I did.
I don't remember who you beat first, but now you know you beat what, Gatlin in the semis pretty handily. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
right? And then you get Luttrell again in the finals, getting ready to walk out. Nerves? No nerves.
Uh, kind of nerves a little bit. I put my headphones on, no nerves. I think the thing that kept me no nerves is that being being in that situation last year really helped. I couldn't last year I had trouble sleeping the night before. I was so excited. This year I was out and then woke up ready to go. I once I stepped on the mat, put my headgear on, warmed up, I was ready.
You were ready. So you get your hand raised, and at the moment you're getting your hand raised, what are you thinking?
Oh man, there's a lot of emotions. I'm just looking to the crowd. I get my hand raised. I go over and flex at the crowd. Uh, just super excited. I didn't so ecstatic. And then uh, I throw my hanger to my coach, shake hands, and I do this running jump into my coach's arms, and I jump so high. He's a really big dude too, but I jumped so high.
Did you almost go over the top?
Yes, sir. There's a couple of photos of me jumping, but it was really cool. It was an amazing like experience just to like take it all in, like just looking around the Von Braun Center and seeing everybody clapping.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. All right. So NHSCAs are up next. Obviously, you want to make a run to another state title. Um, Besides those things, what else do you want to like accomplish over the next year or so?
I definitely in the season, the high school season, I want to place at NHSCA's, and then during the high school season, I want to win the title being undefeated, and I want to have like the least amount of points scored on me. I'm trying to keep it very minimal.
You're trying to up the game just a little bit.
Yes, sir. I definitely want to defend my title, but in the best way I can.
Very cool. All right. So last question I have for you is the last question I've been asking everybody, and that is, why is wrestling special to you?
Wrestling's special to me because the amount I've poured into it and the amount of like time other coaches and people like that have poured into me and like believing in me. When I started wrestling, I had really trouble believing in myself and my abilities. And then as time has progressed, I feel like wrestling has shaped me as a person into like a better person, a more confident person, things like that. I feel like wrestling has given me so many positives throughout high school and even middle school that I don't know. It's just an amazing sport.
Very cool. All right. Well, Greer, congratulations on the state title.
Thank you.
I want to wish you the best of luck next year as you run for a state for another title in the most dominant fashion you can. Um,
Yes, sir.
want to wish you the best of luck at NHSCAs and everything else. And yeah, man, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, take care.